The tribalism of MMORPGs, a phenomenon that has been around since the early days of the genre, but something that I feel has gotten worse as of late, is the tendency of players to become fiercely loyal to their favorite MMORPG while attacking other games and dismissing any criticisms of their beloved title. While this can be seen in other genres of gaming, of course, it is particularly prevalent in MMORPGs in my opinion, due to the time and dedication required to build your character, explore the world, and become part of the community. The problem arises when players become so entrenched in their love for a game that they are just unable to see its flaws, and instead of acknowledging valid criticisms and working to improve their favorite game, they lash out at those who dare to criticize their favorite title. This mentality can lead to actually a stagnation of your favorite MMO and prevent it from actually evolving and improving. Valid criticism is essential for any MMORPG to grow. Now, of course, not all criticisms are constructive. Of course, there's a lot of noise out there, and it's important to be able to sift through that. However, it is important to listen to feedback from players who do provide constructive criticisms or are trying to, and allow those players to give that feedback to the dev team and just talk about it, online. Instead of blindly defending your favorite game, players should be able to openly provide constructive criticism and work towards addressing a game's flaws. No game is perfect, and there is always room for improvement. Now, it's understandable to feel defensive about something you love, of course, but pretending that your favorite MMORPG is flawless and immune to criticism is simply unrealistic. Actually acknowledging the game's flaws and working to improve them is a sign of dedication and loyalty, and just preventing players from being able to provide any level of criticism is actually doing your favorite game a massive disservice. By being open to constructive criticisms and working together, players and developers can create a better gaming experience for everyone. Just shutting down one side of the conversation, putting your fingers in your ears, and acting like everything is fine is not the answer. Now, tribalism and MMOs can also very often lead to toxic positivity, where players refuse to acknowledge any criticisms of their favorite game and just only focus on those positive aspects. Now, while positivity can, of course, be a good thing, toxic positivity is harmful because it can prevent players from acknowledging and addressing a game's flaws and just cause them to lash out at anyone who says anything negative about their favorite game. I know personally, I've been on the receiving end of this quite a lot. During 2021, I made a lot of videos reviewing MMORPGs. I kind of went on like a MMO exploration and tried a lot of different games. And obviously, I had criticisms for each game that I played. However, some of the things that were said to me simply because I disliked something about a video game were absolutely out of this world. And it makes you scratch your head and think how someone could just say such absurd things to another person because they had a criticism about a video game that they liked. It does beg the question, how can you, an individual have your head so deep in the sand that you won't even entertain any feedback about your game that isn't praise and just think that it's above any level of criticism? It's essential to check yourself when you engage in that kind of behavior. Players need to be open to feedback and willing to address their game's issues rather than just ignoring them. Toxic positivity can just create an unhealthy environment where criticism is not welcomed and players are discouraged from voicing their concerns, and this will ultimately make your favorite game worse in the long run. Furthermore, toxic positivity can also lead to a lack of diversity in your gaming community. When players only focus on the positive aspects of their favorite games, they may be unwilling to try out other MMORPGs or engage with other gaming communities. This can create insular gaming culture where players are only exposed to their limited perspective. I know me personally, I've thought I liked certain parts about certain MMORPGs, but once I actually went out and tried other games, I quickly realized that there were this whole, subsection of the genre that I actually ended up liking more, and it helped me expand my horizon on just my opinions on games and what I enjoyed about MMORPGs in general. But only focusing on your game and never being able to receive any criticism, feedback, or just ideas from other titles, it's worse for whatever your favorite game is in the long run. And it's also important to remember that every player and every individual has their own unique playstyle and preferences. Just because someone doesn't enjoy a game the same way you do, it doesn't make them wrong or any less of a player of your game. PvP, PvE, casual, whatever, we need to respect that there are different ways to enjoy games, and diversity is what makes the gaming community special. And just shutting down, you know, people who enjoy different parts of a game than you, or have, you know, criticisms for their section of the game than you do, it doesn't, again, it doesn't help anything. And entertaining different perspectives and ideas is ultimately how we get better. By listening to other people's feedback and experiences, we can gain new insights and improve our own gaming experiences. Developers can improve our favorite MMORPG titles. It's through this diversity of perspectives that the gaming industry has continued to grow and evolve. And if we want to see our favorite MMOs continue to grow and evolve, we need to not be so tribal and defensive of our games and just allow criticism and feedback to be had. Also, if we can give the various MMORPG development teams ideas out, you know, and get ideas out there on what feedback they need to see their game grow and evolve, it'll make the genre better as a whole, and it'll bring more players into the MMORPG genre. We don't want to cut down on feedback that's going to make the games better. We want to embrace that because, again, it'll make the genre more popular as a whole. And then as these games get more popular, they become more competitive with each other and then need to get better and better to maintain their player bases. And it ends up being better for everyone in the long run. Because just in the end, the MMORPG genre's tribalism and toxic positivity that has really been prevalent as of late really can harm its community and the games themselves. It's important to be open to feedback, respect other players' preferences, and be willing to engage in a constructive dialogue about the games we love. By doing so, we can create a more inclusive and diverse gaming community that benefits everybody. So as I wrap up this video today, guys, I did just want to mention that this video script was written by ChatGPT with some personal anecdotes thrown into it. I've used ChatGPT a lot for work, and I wanted to see an experiment with what kind of YouTube script it could pump out. And I do think it sometimes got a little bit repetitive and wordy, but overall, I was pretty impressed. The tool is really insane. If you have not tried ChatGPT, I highly recommend checking it out. It's pretty crazy. It definitely helps with brainstorming a lot for ideas and such, and copy and whatnot. I highly recommend checking it out if you haven't yet. But yeah, just like as we wrap this up today, you know, it's obviously MMO tribalism it's a huge problem, and you can really love and enjoy your game without closing your eyes and, you know, putting your hands over your ears to criticisms about the game. You know, you can admit that parts of your game are not good and need to be improved and still enjoy your game. You know, those two things are not mutually exclusive. You can say, for example, oh, my game has a bad new player experience, but still enjoy the game. And by admitting that your game has faults and has issues that need to be addressed, you can bring those concerns to your development team, and your development team can know, hey, we really need to focus on this. And then it'll just, again, make the game better for everybody in the long run. So I really do encourage you, if you've found yourself, you know, have a little insular talk with yourself. And if you found yourself engaging in that level of tribalism where you are just, you know, toxic positively defending your game and then just attacking other games, just take a minute to pause, see where that might be coming from, and just realize that, you know, engaging in that is just not helping the genre move forward. And by embracing the different ideas and perspectives that other people have, ultimately we will see our favorite games only get better. But guys, with that being said, that is going to be it for me today on this video on MMO tribalism. Let me know what you guys think about the topic in the comment section below. And if you guys do like these MMORPG discussion videos, please leave a like. I've been experimenting with them after seeing, you know, a couple of these videos that I've made do well. So if you guys do like this kind of content where we kind of talk about just things in the genre as a whole, I'll keep doing more. But if not, you know, let me know and I can go back to doing my regular stuff. And if you guys do want to see more MMORPG videos, guides, gameplay, and discussions, please hit that sub button as well as the bell to keep those notifications on. So thank you all so much for stopping by today. I do very much appreciate it. As always, I'm Dots Gaming, and I'll see you all in the next video.